Hi, I'm Tony Tyler with Columbus Pacific up at Apex Residences here in Park City. It's early July. We've passed a really critical milestone at the completion of the overall project. We'll get to that in just a little bit when we jump into some of the aerial images, but really excited to share some of the progress. What you'll see now is I just walked into the living room of 102, which is our penthouse B floor plan. That camera, as it's situated right now, is sitting on the island. You gotta pan around and take a look at these views. This is really where we're starting to see some of the fruits of our labor come through in the overall design, the construction, and the views that Apex is going to give everyone that comes to this site. So we'll pull back here and start at the clubhouse. So what you're really starting to see here is a lot of significant progress coming up and out of the ground. In the elbow, where you see the forms laying on the ground, imagine level above that, that's where your pool, hot tub, and your plaza area for the amenities are located. And you can start to see how that building is going to fit into the lower parking garage as we kind of progress down the hillside towards buildings 12 and 14, which are now ready for landscaping. That should be coming in the next week or two. 15 is not very far behind it, so you can see a lot of the exterior finishes there. 16, 17, both have the steel erected. They're basically next in line for framing. Right behind building 18, which is just finishing up the roof trusses as you see in here. Building 19, as you remember, we jumped ahead a little bit. This one's actually going to be finished relatively quickly right after building 15. So you can see forms and concrete work for building 20. 21 and 22 are basically ready to go, but we're working on just completing the rest of the mechanical and the garage areas to allow for those buildings to really start up and kind of fine-tune the grading a little bit there. We're going to start here. You can see the cut on the left-hand side where that ski bridge comes in. And as you walk down through 5, you can see the siding going on. 6, the trusses are almost complete. 7, the steel is up. That'll be the next building in terms of framing. 8, where the gentlemen are walking right now, you can see that one's basically ready for steel. Should come up pretty quickly. 9, 10, and 11, we've been holding off on those to try to maintain access to what's going to be our big key milestone announcement for this particular update, which is the completion of the structure for the upper parking garage. So here you can see those walls come in. It may not sound like a big deal, but it's a really huge deal for us in the overall project. This means that the mass excavation on site, is nearing completion, and it's really no longer part of our critical path. Thought we'd start with a little bit different view here. So this is actually coming down the side of the retreat trail. You can see the sunrise lift on the right hand side. What's pretty cool here is you can start to see how the ski run is really going to develop around the southwest corner of the Apex site. So you can see the flat top right there. That's really the cat track, although imagine this completely covered with snow. This is really all ski terrain. So you can ski all the way back down, behind buildings, 1, 2, right where you see the yellow crane there, which is setting steel glass pieces on building 2. And you can really start to see kind of how that grade's going to feather in, for the overall ski trail around the site. So we're going to take just a really quick kind of break and move down to building 1 at this point. So you can start to see the framing progress. Our trusses are actually here. You'll see them in just a second for the roof. But you can see a lot of progress on building 1 as that's come up and out. Those views are pretty spectacular. We took the intro from 102, as you remember, so just wanted to kind of remind you of that. That big gap, that big opening right there in the middle of building 1, that's not a mistake. That's really how big the living, kitchen, dining room, and common areas are there. And you can see how that steel on the front frames the view for the living spaces. So as we pull back here, just a really quick note. Hope you guys have a spectacular July. Happy holidays, and hopefully we'll plan on seeing you guys out here in Park City soon.